What if the secret to being unforgettable wasn't in what you give, but in what you choose to hold back? Have you ever noticed that the more freedom you carry, the more others are drawn to you without explanation? Could it be that detachment is not about walking away, but about standing so firmly in your worth that the world cannot look away? Detachment is one of the most misunderstood yet powerful qualities a woman can embody. It is not indifference or distance, it is strength, clarity, and calm wrapped in grace. When a woman embraces detachment, she radiates quiet authority that inspires respect and draws admiration. This rewritten message explores how detachment reshapes presence into magnetism and why it leaves a lasting impression on everyone who encounters it. Hello everyone, and welcome back. I am so grateful you have joined me today, and I can't wait to dive into something that has the power to change your life. The essence of true attraction lies not in chasing or clinging, but in the art of being. When a woman masters the power of detachment, she becomes irresistible because her value emanates from within. A man is drawn to what he perceives as rare and irreplaceable, and a woman who detaches communicates just that. She does not seek attention, approval, or affirmation. Her life is full, her purpose is clear, and her joy is not tied to anyone else's. Detachment is not indifference. It is a sea-quiet confidence that says, I am complete in who I am. When a woman understands this, she steps into a power that no man can overlook. Men are instinctively wired to pursue what challenges them and captivates their mind. In spirit, a detached woman doesn't beg for affection or plead for attention. Instead, she draws it naturally because her energy is magnetic. Such a woman sets her standards high, not out of pride, but because she knows her worth. She is not afraid to walk away from anything or anyone that does not align with her values. This firmness of spirit creates an atmosphere of respect a man cannot help but honor. A woman who respects herself enough to detach from what doesn't serve her. Detachment is also about emotional balance. She doesn't crumble under pressure or lose herself in the highs and lows of relationships. Instead, she remains steady, choosing to invest in her growth and dreams rather than chasing fleeting emotions. This maturity compels a man to rise to her level because he knows that being in her presence is a privilege, not a right. When a woman detaches, she gives space, and that space creates desire. Men are drawn to freedom. They desire connection, but not suffocation. The detached woman allows a man to freely choose her, which deepens the authenticity of his commitment. She doesn't manipulate or control. She simply is, and that's what makes her unforgettable. Her detachment is not a rejection, but an invitation to rise. It tells a man, I am whole on my own, but if you wish to walk with me, you must meet where I am. This stance calls out the best in him and allows the relationship to be built on mutual respect and admiration. So to the woman who learns to detach, know this: you are not losing by letting go. You are gaining by standing firm in your value. Your power is not in chasing, but in being. Men cannot resist a woman who knows how to love deeply yet remain free. That balance is what makes you extraordinary. Detachment is a profound expression of self-confidence because it reflects an unshakable belief in one's own worth and identity. A woman who practices detachment communicates without words that she is whole and complete as she is. She does not need constant reassurance from others to validate her sense of self. This inner assurance becomes a quiet, radiant strength that others can't help but notice. When a woman is detached, she is not desperate for attention, affection, or approval. She does not chase after relationships or cling to outcomes. Because her confidence is not tied to external factors, she knows that her value is inherent, not something dictated by others' opinions or actions. This kind of confidence allows her to stand firm in her choices, unafraid of rejection or loss because she understands that her worth remains unchanged. Detachment also fosters clarity. A confident woman doesn't get lost in emotional turbulence or cling to unhealthy situations. She evaluates relationships and interactions with a calm, grounded perspective, ensuring that her decisions align with her values and purpose. Her detachment becomes a safeguard against settling for less than she deserves. This self-assured approach to life creates an undeniable magnetism People are naturally drawn to someone who exudes such confidence because it is both inspiring and empowering. It challenges others too. Respect her boundaries and treat her with the dignity she commands. A detached woman through her quiet confidence shifts the dynamics of any relationship she doesn't follow. She leads by example. Ultimately, detachment rooted in self-confidence is not about pushing people away, but about standing firm in who you are. It is an unspoken declaration, I am enough, and that is a truth no one can resist. Emotional independence is the cornerstone of strength and self-assurance. It reflects the ability to navigate life without being overly dependent on others for emotional support, validation, or happiness. A woman who embodies emotional independence is in control of her inner world. She doesn't allow external circumstances or the actions of others to dictate her mood or sense of self-worth. This kind of independence doesn't mean she is closed off or unwilling to connect with others. Instead, it means she approaches relationships from a place of abundance, not need. She doesn't cling to others to fill emotional voids or to compensate for a lack of fulfillment within herself. Instead, she cultivates joy, peace, and confidence from within, which she then brings into her relationships as a gift, not a demand. A woman with emotional independence takes responsibility for her feelings. She understands that while others can influence her emotions, she has the ultimate power to regulate them. This makes her resilient in the face afterlenges. She can experience disappointment or heartache without being consumed by it because she knows how to process those emotions in a healthy, constructive way. This independence makes her incredibly attractive. A man admires a woman who is emotionally stable and secure in herself because it allows the relationship to flourish without the weight of unrealistic expectations or constant reassurance. She doesn't seek a partner to complete her. Instead, she seeks someone to complement her. A partner adds value to an already rich and fulfilling life. Her emotional independence also empowers her to set healthy boundaries. She can say no without guilt and walk away from situations that do not align with her values or bring her peace. This clarity and self-respect create an atmosphere of mutual admiration and respect in her relationships. Ultimately, emotional independence is about freedom. The freedom to live authentically and love deeply without losing oneself. It is a declaration that her happiness and peace are her responsibility, and that inner strength is what makes her unforgettable. Having high value and standards is an expression of self-worth that speaks louder than words it reflects. A deep understanding of one's own value and the unwavering commitment to uphold it in every area of life. A woman who lives by high standards doesn't do so out of arrogance or entitlement, but out of respect for herself and the life she is building. This kind of woman knows what she wants and refuses to compromise on the principles that matter most to her. She has clarity about her values, her purpose, and the kind of relationship she desires. This clarity is not about being rigid or unapproachable, but about creating space for only the things and people that align with our vision for her life. Her high value is evident in the way she carries herself. She doesn't need to seek validation or prove her worth because she already knows it. This confidence is magnetic. It attracts those who appreciate her strength and repels those who are unwilling to rise to her level. She sets the tone for how she expects to be treated by first treating her as with dignity, care, and respect. This woman is not afraid to walk away from situations that don't honor her worth. Whether it's a job, a friendship, or a romantic relationship, she understands that settling for less diminishes the respect she has for herself. Her willingness to step away from what doesn't serve her sends a powerful message. Her time, energy, and presence are valuable, and she won't waste them on what isn't worthy of her. Having high standards doesn't mean she is difficult or unkind. On the contrary, it means she is intentional. She understands that the quality of her life is shaped by the choices she makes, and she is deliberate in choosing what aligns with the highest good. Her standards act as a filter, ensuring that only what is authentic, meaningful, and uplifting has a place in her life. This level of self-respect and intentionality naturally commands admiration. People are drawn to her strength and integrity, and men in particular are inspired to rise to meet her expectations. She doesn't need to demand respect that is freely given because she embodies it in every aspect of her life. Ultimately, having high value of standards is not about exclusion, but about elevation. It is an invitation for others to grow, to rise, and to honor the best within themselves in order to walk beside her. This is what makes her not only captivating, but unforgettable. Mystery and attraction go hand in hand, creating an undeniable allure that captivates the imagination. A woman who embodies mystery doesn't reveal everything about herself all at once. Instead, she lets her depth unfold gradually. Like the pages of an intriguing book, this sense of mystery is not about playing games or being deceptive. It is about preserving a sense of individuality and uniqueness. That invites curiosity and admiration. Mystery draws people in because it leaves room for discovery. When a woman holds back from overexposing her thoughts, feelings, or plans, she becomes fascinating. Her life has layers that require time and effort to uncover, and this process of discovery keeps a man engaged and intrigued. He is inspired to learn more about her because there is always something new to explore, a fresh perspective, a hidden talent, or an untold story. This aura of mystery is also rooted in confidence. A mysterious woman does not feel the need to seek constant attention or explain herself to others. She is comfortable with silence, with not filling every moment with words or actions, and this quiet assurance creates a powerful presence. She knows her worth and trusts that the right people will take the time to understand and appreciate her. Maintaining mystery is about valuing privacy and boundaries. She doesn't share every detail of her life with everyone, nor does she allow just anyone into her inner world. This selectivity shows that her time, energy, and attention are precious. By keeping some parts of herself reserved, she signals that intimacy with her is a privilege, not something to be taken lightly. The allure of mystery also keeps relationships vibrant and exciting. When a woman retains her individuality and continues to grow and evolve, she remains unpredictable in the best way. She brings fresh energy and perspective to her connections, ensuring that they never become stagnant. This dynamic energy is incredibly attractive, as it challenges others to stay engaged and invested in the relationship. At the core of mystery is a deep sense of self-awareness. A mysterious woman knows who she is and what she stands for. She is not easily swayed by the opinions or demands of others because she is firmly rooted in her identity. So this steadfastness makes her intriguing and compelling. She becomes a person worth knowing, someone who inspires adoration and respect. Ultimately, mystery is not about creating distance, but about fostering intrigue. It invites people to come closer, to learn, and to connect on a deeper level. A woman who carries an air of mystery doesn't demand attention, she commands it effortlessly. Her presence lingers in the mind, making her unforgettable and leaving those around her inspired to uncover the beauty and wisdom that lie beneath the surface. Fostering respect is one of the most powerful outcomes of a woman who knows her worth and loves with intention. Respect is not something that can be demanded and must be earned through consistent actions, values, and self-respect. A woman who fosters respect in her relationships and interactions does so by demonstrating integrity, confidence, and boundaries that reflect her deep understanding of her own value. When a woman respects herself, she sets the tone for how others will treat her. She establishes clear boundaries, not out of fear or defensiveness, but because she knows that respect begins with her. She doesn't allow others to overstep or diminish her, and she communicates her expectations calmly and assertively. This firmness shows that she values herself, and it compels others to do the same. Her actions align with her words, which creates an atmosphere of trust and admiration. She doesn't make empty promises or act in ways that contradict her values. This consistency earns her the respect of those around her, as they come to see her as someone reliable and authentic. Her strength lies in her ability to remain true to herself, even when it's difficult or inconvenient. A woman who fosters respect is also discerning about who she allows into her life. She doesn't seek approval from everyone, nor does she try to please everyone. Instead, she focuses on building meaningful connections with those who appreciate her values and honor her presence. This selectivity communicates that her time and energy are valuable and not to be taken for granted. Respect is further cultivated through the way she carries herself. Her posture, tone of voice, and demeanor all convey self-assurance and grace. She doesn't need to raise her voice or resort to confrontation to make her point. Her presence alone commands attention, and her ability to remain calm and composed in challenging situations reinforces her strength and dignity. Fostering respect also involves showing respect to others. A woman who values herself understands the importance of treating others with kindness and fairness. She listens attentively, acknowledges different perspectives, and stands firm without demeaning or belittling others. This balance of strength and empathy earns her admiration because it shows that her respect for others comes from a place of genuine self-respect. Ultimately, a woman who fosters respect becomes a beacon of strength and inspiration. People are drawn to her not because she demands their attention, but because she earns their admiration. Through her actions, values, and the way she honors herself and those around her, this respect is lasting and profound, forming the foundation of meaningful relationships and interactions. It makes her presence unforgettable and her influence enduring. Non-attachment to outcomes is a powerful mindset that reflects strength, clarity, and maturity. It is the ability to pursue goals, invest in relationships, and live with purpose without being overly dependent on specific results. A woman who practices non-attachment doesn't allow her happiness, self-worth, or peace of mind to hinge on how things turn out. Instead, she focuses on the process, trusting that everything will unfold as it should. This mindset doesn't mean she lacks passion or care. On the contrary, it allows her to give her best in every situation, while remaining free from the anxiety of control. She understands that she can influence her circumstances, but cannot control every aspect of the outcome. This realization brings her a sense of freedom and peace, because her focus is on what she can do, not on what she cannot. Non-attachment reflects a deep confidence in herself and in life. A woman who is not attached to outcomes believes in her ability to handle whatever comes her way. She knows that success or failure, acceptance or rejection do not define her. This inner assurance allows her to take risks, make bold decisions, and embrace challenges without fear of losing herself in the process. In relationships, non-attachment fosters authenticity. She does not force connections or cling to people out of fear of being alone. Instead, she allows relationships to develop naturally, free of pressure or expectations. This approach creates an atmosphere of mutual respect and freedom where both parties can grow and thrive without feeling constrained. Or non-attachment doesn't mean she doesn't care. It means she cares deeply enough to let things unfold organically. This mindset also makes her resilient when things don't go as planned. She doesn't crumble or dwell on disappointment. Instead, she sees every outcome as a learning opportunity, a stepping stone to greater wisdom and growth. Her ability to detach from specific results enables her to adapt and move forward with grace and confidence. Non-attachment is closely tied to self-worth. A woman who practices this understands that her value is not determined by external achievements, relations, or possessions. She finds fulfillment in her journey, her growth, and her purpose. This inner strength makes her incredibly attractive, as it reflects a rare and compelling sense of independence and balance. Ultimately, non-attachment to outcomes is about surrendering the need for control while remaining deeply invested in one's efforts and values. It is a mindset of freedom, allowing her to live fully and authentically without being weighed down by fear or expectations. This detachment makes her magnetic because it conveys that happiness and peace come from within, a truth that draws others to her and leaves a lasting impression. Freedom creates pursuit because it ignites a natural desire in others to seek what cannot be forced or controlled. When a woman embodies freedom in her spirit, choices, and demeanor, she becomes irresistibly captivating. Her freedom is not just about independence in the practical sense. It is an emotional and mental liberation that communicates self-sufficiency and completeness. She is free from the need to chase, cling, or manipulate, and this makes her presence all the more desirable. A woman who embraces freedom gives space for others to choose her willingly, She does not demand attention or affection, nor does she rely on strategies to secure someone's interest. Instead, she lives authentically, allowing her natural essence to draw people in. This lack of pressure creates an environment where genuine connections can flourish, as others feel inspired to pursue her out of admiration, not obligation. Freedom signals self-confidence. A woman who is contented and fulfilled in her own life does not rely on external sources to define her happiness or identity. She has her own passions, goals, and sense of purpose, which makes her life dynamic and vibrant. This independence challenges others to match her energy and effort, igniting the pursuit because her freedom communicates, "I am enough on my own, but welcome those who truly value me." This sense of freedom also fosters respect. When a woman respects her own space and allows others theirs, it creates a balance that feels refreshed and rare. She's not threatened by distance or individuality. Instead, she thrives on the understanding that relationships grow best when both parties feel free. This approach compels others to pursue her because they see her as someone who enriches life without taking away autonomy. Freedom enhances her allure by maintaining a sense of unpredictability. She is not entirely accessible or predictable, and this keeps others intrigued. Her life has a rhythm and flow that is hers alone, and it challenges others to invest effort to truly know her. The pursuit becomes exciting because her freedom adds a mystery, making her presence feel like a privilege rather than a given. Moreover, freedom is empowering. A woman who is free from desperation or dependence on outcomes allows others to experience her presence without the weight of unmet expectations. She becomes a source of inspiration, someone others want to be around, because her freedom reflects a strength that is both inviting and challenging. Ultimately, freedom creates pursuit because it communicates worth and abundance. A free woman doesn't need to chase after anything or anyone because she knows her value. This quiet assurance makes others want to pursue her, not out of obligation, but because her freedom makes her irresistible. It is this combination of strength, independence, and openness that makes her unforgettable and deeply sought after. In the end, the power of detachment lies in the profound message it sends: I am whole, I am valuable, and I am free. A woman who understands and embodies this truth doesn't need to demand respect, attention, or love. They are drawn to her naturally. Her confidence, emotional independence, high standards, and freedom form a magnetic force that compels others to pursue her, not out of obligation, but out of genuine admiration. The strongest relationships and the most meaningful connections are built on mutual respect and choice, not control or dependency. By embracing detachment, a woman reclaims her power, creating an environment where she is valued for who she truly is. Let this be a reminder: the moment you stop chasing and start standing firm in your worth, you no longer have to seek what's meant for you, will pursue. You'll be free, be confident, and the world will come to you. Detachment, when embraced fully, does more than shift relationships, it reshapes the woman herself. It teaches her to stand in unwavering confidence, to cherish freedom without fear, and to live with a depth that inspires others to rise higher. This quality is not about separation, but about elevation, reminding her that true attraction begins with inner strength.